Good evening, everyone. I'm Shari, and welcome to another Women in Cricket discussion. In today's society, more women have become successful in breaking down barriers of the male-dominated sports industry, and with cricket being one of those sports, we will be discussing the challenges and opportunities that they may have faced. Joining me also is Dr. Jacqueline King. Dr. King is one of the Caribbean's foremost physiotherapists with over 3 decades of public and private sector expertise that includes international cricket and the Olympic Games. A member of the board at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. King is the principal of the Sports and Physical Therapy Clinic, one of the Caribbean's leading rehabilitation centers. We will also chat a bit about her career and being the physiotherapist for the Barbados Spray team. We also have Patricia Greenidge, who is Vice President of Pensions at Sagicor Life Inc. Patricia Greenidge is a former Barbados Cricket Association board member, national player, and West Indies women's team manager. She's also the current chairperson of the BCA's Women's Cricket Committee. She is a fellow of the Chartered Professional Accountants and a certified corporate secretary. Additionally, she was also manager of the Barbados ladies team and was the first female to sit on a cricket board in the Caribbean. And lastly, but certainly not least, we also have Danielle Small. Danny, as many will know, she's an all-rounder in the sport of cricket. From her days of playing, she naturally progressed to the administration of the game and retired as a cricket operations officer here at the BCA. She was a member of the victorious Barbados team, which made history by being double champions. She's also an international cricketer who has played for the West Indies. Danny has been with the BCA from 2007, and she's also a Cricket West Indies Level 2 certified coach and is current assistant coach of the Barbados Blind Cricket team. She's the current manager of the Iris Walkers Pioneers team and was named manager of the 2019 Barbados Under-19 Women's Junior team. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you, Shari.
Good evening.
Thank you.
And we will get right into it. My first question is, what may be the primary reasons for the relatively low numbers of female cricketers in top positions in cricket administration?
Hi, good evening. I will start. For me, cricket is a male-dominated sport, and therefore women can be overlooked due to this. That is for me.
All right, and
I tend to
go
agree
ahead.
with Danny that cricket is still very much a male-dominated sport, and I don't think that women are viewed as cricketers per se. Women are viewed as people who play cricket. Males are cricketers. Women are people who play cricket, and that might be part of it. As well as I don't think that there's enough attention paid to women's cricket to encourage people to be involved in it at that level.
Okay, for me, I would say that one of the main reasons for the lower numbers in cricket administration has a lot to do with, yes, I would concur with the fact that it's a male-dominated sport. But in addition to that, right, when you speak about administration, it's not always easy for people to transition from playing a sport into administration. I would say that I know for a fact that the Barbados Olympic Association offers a number of courses, and one of them is an administrative course. This administrative course speaks to things like marketing, risk management, financials, and a whole host of things. So to me, I think that you need to get people exposed. You have to have webinars and saying if you are interested in having people in administration, you have to have them educated and trained. And I think that that is the way that we would need to go by looking at some of our past cricketers and exposing them to the role of administration in order to get these people involved in cricket administration. It's just not a transition from playing the sport. It's an educational aspect to it. And also, there are different aspects when you speak about the administration. Are you talking about governance? Are you speaking about coaching? Are you speaking about the technical arm of umpiring? I think you would need to break it down. So that is my response to that question.
So what is the best way to capture the attention of women and make them aware that there are opportunities out there in cricket administration?
Just like I said, how would you capture? So we have a national team. The national team, let's say that we call a name for example. Suppose Shakira say that she's had enough of it, right? Or we have a couple of people, and we want these people to be involved in cricket is the educational aspect. But it is also another aspect. You could have a situation where, like, the International Olympic Association has mandated that their committees comprise at least, it used to be 30%. I think it has changed to maybe 40, up to 40 is going up, but it was a minimum of 30. I don't remember the exact percentage now. You see, if you have that type of stuff going on, that is going to force you to look at your cricketers and expose them to the training and the education to bring them into the fold, because you can't just bring them in like that. And so that's my spin.
All right, so let's get into stereotyping and discrimination and the ideologies of cricket is a male-dominated sport. And that is something that many female cricketers are fighting against, but there are some barriers and some challenges that they may have faced. Danny, you're a cricketer, and I am sure you would have faced these challenges. So can you tell me what are some of the issues that you would have faced being not only a cricketer, but now you are in cricket operation?
Well, basically, as a cricketer, men, as it being a male-dominated sport, males reap the rewards. Females do no such thing. We see guys all the time being able to flex with their sports cars and various things, but they do not reap the rewards from cricket.
All right, and Dr. King, you are one of the only females that would be among the Barbados Pride team. Have you ever faced any challenges being dominated, or is it a case where you are highly respected and they have no issues with you being the only female among them, but you carry that standard for females?
Shari, I don't, to be honest with you, it's been now over 30 years that I've been working with male cricket. And I cannot ever say that I've had any issues of discrimination or lack of respect or whatever. It has always been that, but I think a lot of it has to do with how you yourself approach it. You set your boundaries, you set the parameters. They know that you are a professional and that you act as a professional at all levels. So I've worked along with the males, but have never had any issues whatsoever up to this day. I mean, and the respect is there. You do your work, you have your respect, and you can still have a cordial relationship with the players, but they all know where the line is drawn. They all know that you're a professional and you're there to do a job.
All right, so how important is it to have a mentorship program going on within your field?
Well, it is, I think is extremely important, and that's something that we have talked about at various levels in having mentorship programs for the players, because we have the players, they all come from different backgrounds, different circumstances, and we have always talked about the fact that we didn't have a psychologist along with the team, but we always needed somebody to be there to help carry them along, help them to be able to cope with all the different things that they are exposed to, how to adjust to different circumstances, especially when it comes to things like touring, that especially touring and being away from home, being away from your comfort zone, really. And having mentors along with the cricket I think is an absolutely necessary thing that we need to pay a lot more attention to it. Necessary for cricketers at all levels, not just the senior team. We need to, if we start with a mentorship in the under 15s, the under 17s, the under 19s, I think that, as we get towards the senior teams, then things will fall into place a lot better. What do you think about that?
So then how, being that there's no psychiatrist with you all during those tours, then how do you manage to keep the players motivated and to keep going?
Well, I am not a psychologist, and I do not pretend to be a psychologist. And psychologists listening on will think, will be first to say that I'm not, but you end up doing a lot of things
Right. Yeah, exactly.
psychological based. You end up, and I think a lot of it goes with the fact that you get to know the players, you get to know what makes somebody tick, you get to know who, and because you know the players so well, and you know all their backgrounds, you know their families, you know their situations, then you kind of know what you have to do to help get them through. So the therapist becomes a lot more than just fix my ankle. You become a lot more than that. You end up hearing a lot of stories that I could write bestsellers on if I was ever to write a book. um, so that, because players will come to you, and they come to you with their problems, and you have to deal with them. So you then become that person, because you're I think it's because you're a constant there. And they also know that there's a confidentiality aspect of it, and the things
Mhm.
that they come and tell you, you can't tell, they will not hear it anywhere else. So, and I think that's part of it. That's part of it as well. So yes, when you're working, the physio who's working with the team, and 99% of the time it's really only the physio is the only medical person with the team. I've not ever had a time where I traveled with a team doctor, in a Barbados team or whatever. So you're the constant, you're the person who's there with them all the time. You're the person that they come to trust, and that they come to rely on to help them through their darkest hours, because it is not all fame and glory on tour. It certainly is not.
Well,
Okay.
we had Haley Matthews here. It was our last session, and she was saying that she believes that the female players are used as stepping stones for others, and that she also expressed we need to find people who care about the ladies enough to advocate for women's cricket.
Right. I could even go back to the days of Pamela Levine and speak about that when Pam was supposed to play for Empire at the time, first division. It wasn't we hadn't gone on to the elite divisions yet, so it was still the first division. And Pam was supposed to play for Empire's first division, and that was crap. They had a whole talk show about it. No, a woman should not be playing cricket, And like Haley said, we are used as stepping stones, and Pam would have been one of those people, that would have excelled in cricket previously and would have no rewards. I mean, persons like Haley, Shakira, Mills, all of those sort of people, they are reaping little rewards. It's much more than what Pam would have received. And I'm sure in like 5 to 10 more years, somebody else, some name that we are not even aware of right now, may reap more rewards than the Haleys and the Deandras and stuff. I will also speak on Deandra Dotting, who is ranked also, and who would have scored the first century and would have reaped no reward at all. So all of these are things that sometimes can put the ladies, on the back burner, or feel like there's major stereotyping.
Okay, and Nani, let's continue on that trajectory, because when I first became the manager of the West Indies team, we were any stipends.
We
Hardly,
were
hardly receiving any stipends, the players and so on. I talking about what they were paid like um per day per game and so on. And those things have moved up. It might not move up to the level of the men, but
Yeah, little.
I can say to you that as the point that you made 5 years on the road, there is improvement, because even the prize money at international games increase and increase and increase. So it is a work in progress, and I'm sure that it will get there. But I think it is because it is not necessarily same level. But what I would say to you though, the ladies cricket is really catching on. A lot of people paying a lot more interest, and I am sure that things are going to get better. That is the truth. No way,
I totally agree to that as well.
yeah.
And how is the BCA leading the way in providing suitable opportunities for women in sports?
Well, basically, they're coaching courses from various There's the foundation course, the level 1 coaching course, the level 2, where we ask, these are all cricket vesting, put on by Cricket West Indies, and we ask that females are now included into this so that they level of actually playing and becoming coaches at the end of their careers.
Okay, and do you believe though that there are enough women in national sports working in administration in Barbados?
There's always room for more. I believe that there's always room for more. Women have a lot more to offer than just being in the kitchen, and I think that it dates back to how women were perceived before in the, I would say, the old time days, where a man would go and work and stuff like that. But now we have women who are, showcasing that they are worthy to be in administrative positions as well. And we should endorse and ensure that women are there, because women too have an input to offer.
I would say that there's no doubt that that the sports are heavily male denominated. I know that we have about 60 something different sports, about 37 under the BOA and another 30 plus under the Sports Council, And yes, it is heavily dominated by men. And I think, and I believe that there is a role for more administration, for more women to be involved in administration. We do have a number of sports that have females at the helm. If you look in the newspaper this week, there is a female doctor, I believe, who became president of boxing. Boxing was a male sport, as we know, but they have some women. So there are a couple of people. You do have even that same boxing, the general secretary is a female, and Bridge, the president, is a female, and equestrian is a female, aquatic sports is a female, athletics is a female, netball is a female, squash is a female. But even though that we do have some of these people, I would say it is not enough. However, though, it is one that promotes people's interest, because we can see that women are becoming more heavily involved in the sport administration. And as I said previously, I don't want to keep saying the same thing, but the way forward is, like Danny spoke about coaching, is providing opportunity for education and some of the things that I spoke about previously, like webinars, etc. However, I wanted to say, when you talk about administration, you can break it down, because you are talking about administration at the board levels. Because take it, for example, we have association, we have a board. I don't believe currently we have any females on that board, right? Are you talking about at the level of coaching promotes development? Are you talking about level of coaching? Are you talking about umpiring and so on? So when you do break it down and look at the categories, and I would say to you that the coaching for sure is one of the main things that we really need to get more females involved in. And when people play the sport, some of them will branch off into administration and different things, but there's a lot of room for females to become much more involved in sports in general in Barbados.
Right, and that was something that I was saying when I asked you the question, by making the example that we have Shakira Salmon who have branched off into broadcasting. And it is that a lot of females are not aware that these opportunities are out there.
And I think that we could showcase that some more. We could highlight the people who are in positions. You can market them. You can put Shakira. I'm not a marketing person, but I'm sure that we can find a way to advertise, to promote, to encourage, to educate.
Her.
That, I mean, they even in empowering. We have a female who recently elevated to a higher level, empowering internationally and so on. So I would say yes, that the way to go about that is to market, promote, by however, be it on radio, television, brochures, so that people are more aware of the opportunities available
Now that Pat has mentioned umpiring, there are a lot of females now showing interest in the BCUA's umpires course. That a lot of them sat the exam. I think we had like 2 or 3 females who would have passed the exam this year, and last year it would have been about 2 as well. So females are looking now to go past just playing cricket or scoring cricket. They're actually wanting to be on the field of play.
I think this also takes us back into and ties in very well with what we were speaking about, the whole mentorship of the players, because that's where you can actually guide them and show them and teach them all the different aspects of administration that they can go into, and they can have a plan as to what happens when their cricket days are finished. You can, there's so many aspects. You can still be involved in cricket, but you can be involved in so many ways. Why can't you be the next physiotherapist behind Jackie King? She can't be forever. Why can't you be that? Why can't you be the next umpire? Why can't you be the next CEO of the BCA? Right? There are so many, and as I said, that ties right in with our mentorship of the players, allowing them to understand that cricket doesn't end when you end on the field. There's so much more that you can do to contribute to it. And all you have to do is to keep dealing with your, and once again, we go back to the educational aspect of it. It's not just about playing cricket. You have to have your educational aspect, and that allows you to move on when you're no longer on the field. So as I say, that ties very much well into the mentorship of the players and showing them directions that they can go in when there's no longer cricket. And as I keep telling all of the players that, with cricket, you never know when your last game is going to be. I
was about to say, it only takes one injury.
You don't play cricket until you're 65 and get a pension, right? You can make 1 million runs and the selectors don't pick you. So only ever as good as your last game. So as far as I'm concerned, you always have to have a plan B. And if your love is cricket, you really love cricket and you want to be involved in it, there's so many aspects of the administration of it that you can find yourself in. And don't expect anybody to put you in there because you are a women's cricketer and it is women's cricket, so a woman should be in there. You have to be there because you qualified to be there, because you show that you have the ability to be there, and that's how you earn the respect, and that's how you stay there, right? You don't get there because somebody decides, okay, let's put in some women. We ain't got no women on the board here, so now let me put in 2 women. That doesn't keep you there.
I agree with that, Jackie.
Women have to show that they are interested. Just as much.
To show that they're interested, they have to show that they're capable, right? And not be there because somebody put them there or because somebody liked them. Because when that person that like you ain't there anymore, you will be gone too. So,
exactly.
So it's very important, if women want to be in administration and in leadership roles, that we have to show that we are capable of leading. We're not there because we're somebody's friend. We're not there because you have to have 6 women, so put in her because she gonna met the number 6 person in there. No, we're there because we are capable, we are qualified so to do, and that's how we will earn respect for ourselves and keep ourselves there.
And Jackie, that is why I mentioned the point about the education, that you just can't say you come into administration earlier and come into it without being educated. You have to go through that educated program, and that ties in with what, with the importance for women to occupy leadership positions in cricket. I agree that when you have women in leadership, period, be it cricket or what have you, perspective to the table. They do. And so that's one of the reasons why it is very important, because they bring a different perspective. But it's also very important because it would influence other ladies to follow suit, and hence, by extension, inspire people to learn the game. If you have women in administration, right, and people are seeing that, they would be like saying, I can say to you guys that my granddaughter at age 14 told us about 2 months ago that she wants to play cricket. And where that would come from? Seeing us watching the cricket. Yes, her father involved in cricket and so on and so forth, but she didn't have that interest. She had other interests. And she, she's been glued to TV and watching it, and she said that she wants to play. So it would inspire other people to get involved in sport, and also possibly develop the interest of others and spark the development of the game. That's the other thing. That can help with the development of the game. When you see people in leadership positions and you keep seeing this on television or seeing this and seeing that, it will aspire the game to become more developed because more people can become interested.
Right. And I believe that the narrative may have to change a bit too, because in primary school, kids are taught that cricket is only a sport, especially a male dominated sport. So girls believe too that they can't play. So I believe that this narrative has to change from primary school or we progress into something higher or something major.
Yes, I will also state too that it has to start from their homes as well, because sometimes it might be parents too that come up before that are still, with the whole cricket being a male sport and instilling that in a child's head.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we're gonna have, if we have to have a broader base of females who are going to be involved in cricket if female cricket is to expand and flourish. We have to have a broader base. As it is now, we don't have the numbers of females playing cricket. So we have to find a way. And it's not only really I think not only within here in Barbados, I think if we look at it around the region, you don't have the numbers of females playing cricket that you have of males playing cricket. So if we're gonna, if the female cricket world is going to continue to expand, we have to look at our base. We have to encourage the players from young, start playing within the primary schools, within the secondary schools. So we have larger numbers. We have a larger pool to choose from.
Women because this is an administration discussion, so everything is administration, and the women do like the men in that regard, and the way to address that is to try to establish quotas and that type of thing. And if you establish quotas, then you'll be able to, that in itself will drive numbers, will drive representation of females at different levels. So that would be one of the ways. So when you talk about policies, these policies to my mind, and when I say quotas, you guys understand what I mean. Like if you have a board, right? Just say that if you have a board that the board members should comprise of X amount of females, that type of thing. That's what I mean by quotas. If you have coaches at the School of Excellence and they're now all men, I'm not here saying have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm saying if you establish that, you're going to get the women involved. So maybe of X amount of female coaches, of X amount of coaches in the School of Excellence or BCA, we should have at least 1 or 2, whatever the quota is. And so when you go down that road with the different things that you have, you're going to get the women involved in the administration, in the leadership.
Also, I would also state that I believe that if a person meets the requirements to do a specified job, gender should not even matter.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't matter. Anybody should be able to get the job once they meet the requirements.
Thank you for your contributions, Pat, Jackie, and Danny. I enjoyed it. And so our viewers, thank you for watching, and we will see you soon. Stay safe.